So you see what I'm doing? Got an iPad out here. I bought this Durango racetrack tail lamp decal. I bought it 5 months ago. YouTube, what is good? It's your boy Shaka252 bring you another video, man. I know in the title of the video, it's mainly about the Luxe Auto Concepts racetrack tail light tint or decal for the Durango. It turned out really good. My wife actually gave me the idea for today's video. I've made quite a few videos already on my channel in regards to the process I went through to make this happen. And actually today, I'll throw this out there real quick. Today is 1 year of me having my house. I've been in my house 1 year. If you've been following me for several years now, you know that I was in that I was renting that little tiny duplex, man. But when, even though I was in that little duplex, I was still grinding, doing what I had to do. I was working. I was going to school full time. I got my bachelor's, got my master's, I got all that, you know what I'm saying? But I was grinding. But okay, I'll jump right into the biggest thing is it's a dead giveaway, is credit. You need credit to make. Without credit, I couldn't have done anything. I couldn't have gotten my Scat Pack. I couldn't have got the credit cards that I got, and I definitely couldn't have gotten this house or this Durango, whatever. I couldn't have gotten anything. So I'll let you know, prior to me even getting the Scat Pack, my credit was not good. My credit was not good at all. And that was because I had student loans. And those of you out there that have had student loans, that's like a thorn in your side when you're trying to get your credit together. So this is crazy. So I used to have a 06 Lexus GS 300. I think it had 143,000 miles. And my interest rate on that thing was like, that interest rate was like 12, 13, maybe even 14%. It wasn't a good deal. I still had my Navigator. The Navigator was paid off, but I wanted another vehicle. But because of my credit situation, I couldn't get it. So I worked on my credit. I made sure I made payments on time. And a real big thing that you can do, I explained this to one of my buddies here recently. When you're paying on your vehicle, if you're making your mortgage payment, any bills you have, I'll just stick to car payment. Regardless of what your interest rate is, the best way to kill that interest and to pay your vehicle off or even build your credit is to split those payments. I'll give you an example. Let's say your car payment is $400. Split that payment in half. So the obvious is $200 and then $200. So what you could do is, some people get paid every 2 weeks. Pay $205, $210. The next time you get paid within that month, pay another $205, $210. You're basically you're preventing that interest from accumulating each day, because that's what interest does. It accumulates each day. If you make your payment on the first and then you don't pay anything else until the next month, it's going to add tiny little increments or big increments each day, all the way up until you make that next payment. Credit card usage. If you have a credit card, if you're watching this video, I'm trying to look you in your eyes. If you are watching this video and you have a credit card in your possession and your balance is maxed out, but you have ambitions of owning a Scat Pack, owning a SRT Durango, RT Durango, Hellcat, house, anything, that should be your first priority right there, is to knock down that balance, because that's killing you. That credit usage is a beast. So I know MDG Collections had really good videos on this, and I try to chime in on it too. But what I personally did, man, I'm telling you, my credit wasn't good. So I had $200 credit cards. So I would sit up all night watching Tall Guy car reviews and RP Productions, RT Life, man, Hemi Fam, Work Play Drive. I used to watch all these guys, and I was like, in SRT Mush, I was like, that's what I want. So I took baby steps. Whatever your due date is for your credit card, your due date is trash. Whatever your due date is, look on your bill and see where your billing cycle end date is. That billing cycle end date is probably two and a half weeks prior to that due date. Don't wait until the due date to pay. Find out what that billing cycle end date is for your credit card. Pay your credit card then. Pay your bill. If you can pay it off in full, do it then. So I'm going to tell you some gangster stuff. I'm going to tell you how I did it. So, like I said, let's go back to this $200 credit card. What I would do is, I called it borrowing from myself. So if I really needed that $200, or however the case may be, I found out my billing cycle end date, and I paid the card off in full on the billing cycle end date. And then I waited maybe 2 days, 3 days, and then I could use the card again. I maxed the card out again. So basically, the credit bureaus take a snapshot of your available credit at the billing cycle end date. If they saw that my card was fully available, zero balance on the billing cycle end date, so they reported it officially that I had full credit, full $200 credit. They have no idea that I maxed out that card 2 days after the fact. So I worked a system where I maintained the billing cycle end date for each of my cards, and I would pay them off to zero. And if I really needed that credit, if I really needed to use my card, I'll wait a couple of days, I'll use it right back again. I did that with that $200 card. I did that exercise, paying it on a billing cycle end date, using it, waiting till the next month. I did the same thing for a year and a half, almost 2 years. My score went up. It went up 45 points, 45 points. That's all I was doing, was using that card. I would use that card, just flexing. And in that period, the credit card company was bumping up my limit. And after that year and a half, that put me in a position where my score was high enough for me to take a chance to apply for that loan so I could get out of that freaking Lexus and get the car that I wanted. And it worked. And not only that, not only did it work, the credit union that I used offered me a credit card. So I was like, you know what, YOLO, I'm going for it. I applied for that credit card, and They freaking gave me a $8,000 limit, credit limit. Mind you, my score was only about, it was maybe a 640 at the time. I can't really remember, man. I think it was about a 640 at the time. And I was able to get a loan, get my scat pack, and I got a credit card for 8 G's. Really, the biggest thing I wanted to get out to you guys was, if you're striving to buy a house or buy a car or whatever it is you're trying to do, and you're working on your credit, if you get your credit score to a certain number, let's say you're in the 500s, and in a year and a half you get your score up to 650, don't stop. Don't make, I feel like I made a mistake because I jumped the gun. I jumped too early. Your standards should exceed that. And that's what I'm still doing now. I'm still chasing a perfect score. If you get up to a 650 and you know that 650 will get you into a scat pack or Hellcat or whatever, or even get, I won't say a house. If you're gonna get your house, do your thing, but strive higher, man. Go higher. 650 shouldn't be your goal. Your goal should be 750 or higher. And it'll pay off in the long run, because then that way the interest rate that you get offered at a 650 score would be 4 to 5 points higher, or however many, I'm exaggerating, could be a lot higher than your interest rate if you wait until your score hits up in the 7s. At present time, I'm doing the same thing. I went from being denied on getting approved for $200 cards. I couldn't even get a Discover card, Capital One card. I couldn't get none of that. They denied me, bro. They denied me. I worked my score up. Capital One finally approved me and gave me a $200 card. If you go to a car dealership and you want a car and you let that dealer, that salesman, run your credit, they're going to run your credit at every single bank until one says yes. So you could walk out with a car that you want, but you're leaving with 18, 20 inquiries on your credit. Each inquiry is worth about 2 to 3 points. So do the math on that. Do the math. You geniuses out there, do the math on it. Take 20 inquiries, 3 points a piece, and subtract. Just come up with that number. And let's say you got a 650 credit score. My neighbor. Let's say you got a 650 credit score. Come up with that number and subtract it from that. That's how your score. That's what keeps people's scores down, is inquiries. So this girl that I grew up with, I saw her on Instagram, always promoting about working on your credit, and I ignored it. You know, I paid it no attention until I plateaued. And when I say I plateaued, I hit a certain score. And I stayed there. Nothing I did would make it move. Couldn't do anything. It stayed the same. It plateaued out. I reached out to Vita. I was like, hey, I see what you're doing. Hey, you think you can help me out? You know, just check on it, just to see what's out there. So fast forward through all that, I had inquiries of places I had no idea about. She only deleted inquiries. All I had was inquiries. She deleted my inquiries and my score went up. Man, my score probably went up 80 points. That's when she schooled me. She was like, hey, every time you apply for stuff, that stuff stays on your credit. It stays there. So she deleted all of that crap, all that little telling you, it was some old ancient stuff that I didn't even remember, you know what I'm saying? And she got it off. And I'll put her contact in the description below. Shoot her a text message. Tell her Shaka sent you. Foreclosures, bankruptcies, student loans. If you're not paying on student loans at all, she can get it deleted. All those bills, if it's bill collectors calling you right now and you're ignoring their calls because you know you owe that money and you don't want to admit it, hit up Vita, and I'll put her number in the description. Shoot her a text, tell her I sent you, and she'll get you square. She'll get you square, man. I want everybody around me to be with me. If I see people around me that don't have the same things I got, I try to drop gems on you, man, and try to I'll give you what I got, you know what I'm saying? So but if you guys have questions, if you follow me on Instagram, you can shoot me a DM. You can write down in the comments below. But I used to get those messages, man. I used to get messages. People used to hit me up and be like, hey, bro, whatever you're into, I want in. So what I'm into working on my credit. I was into getting my education, getting a good job. You know what I'm saying? Like little stuff, the basics. Because I've been broke. I told y'all that on a couple of videos ago, man. I've been broke. I know what broke feels like. I used to go to bed hungry. You either putting gas in the car or you eating. So which one is it gonna be? With an overdrawn account, I'll pull out that last 20 and go to the gas pump, overdraw, fill my tank up, overdraw my account by 50 bucks, 60 bucks, and go home. That's all I got. I've taken up too much of your time already. Yeah, if you haven't already, subscribe to the channel. Click the notification bell. I got some more stuff coming, man. I'm cooking up stuff. Stuck in this quarantine house, man. This corona going on. I'm stuck in the house. I'm thinking of crazy ideas. I'm hitting up SRT Mush, getting his insight. So, but yeah, man, that's all I got. And shouts out to the Mopar Savages. And I'll catch you on the next one. All right, peace.